Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how are you doing? Right, it's Friday, and Friday's a very special day on this channel because not only do we do a request map, but we get it voted in by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon. Of course, you can join them over on Patreon at patreon.com/BonBonB. The link is in the description, and for just $1 a month you get a vote and we can put in some really nice maps on the Friday. Right, now this one was a close run race. It was nominated by Negat Jazzy and by Zosso, and ironically for Zosso, it was his map that was pushed into second place in this one, so let's just hope that his nomination map is a good one. Otherwise I feel a bit sorry for him. Okay, today's map is Stendal Altmark, Germany by Lewis, or Louis. I'm going with Lewis, I'll stick with Lewis unless told otherwise. It's based on a real place in Germany with 100% real networks and topography. There's your start square location. I'll be marking the map based on its quality as a map, not on its accuracy to real life. The resources looks like a stained glass window's been smashed all over the environment. It's some hell of a field painting job there, I tell you. And let's go over and have a look what we need. Now, it is a mass transit map, you will need that. Stray Cats theme, network extensions 2, Proprietary Anarchy, a couple of bridges, a few trees, some more trees, some grasses, quite a few bits and bobs. It's all in English, and underneath that we've got my second language. Fans of the show will know that I'm really good at German, and there's all written in German as well for those of you who are not English speakers. Bless you. Okay, now let's have a look at the roads. First of all, you can tell it's a very flat landscape. I have no problem with that. It's not entirely flat. There's a little bit of undulation. You can just see the curvature of the hill there in the distance. It's all very nice indeed. Makes it nice and easy to build on, and that's got to be reflected in the final score, surely. And we come down here to our first bridge. It's a rail over the road, but if you have a look, it's very nicely tapered in indeed. Nice and smooth and gentle, up and down. There, I'm quite happy with that. Now, in between the roads, we've got a little bit of road glitching. In some places I don't mind it, in other places it gets, I don't mind it down here actually. Let's face it, just a little bit of Surface Painter once you've loaded the map can fix that. Surface Painter isn't available in the map editor, which is, it's fair enough. But yeah, it's okay down here. I don't mind it too much down here. It gets a little bit stretched in a moment, and that jaunts on the eye a little bit for me down here, but other than that it's all very good. Underneath another raised rail and the elevated, this is one of the another assets that I forgot to read out for you, the elevated train tracks. And then down here to the start square intersection. Now this has a little bit of a problem. First of all, first instinct is it looks okay. Second instinct, it actually looks a little bit untidy, but it still seems to be workable. There is a problem with it though. If you come down here and want to take a left, so we want to go left over this intersection, how do we get over there? Well, you've got this traffic turning right, and it's feeding off this way. So we'll follow the road this way. A lot of traffic coming this way as well, over the little rail bridge there. And then we got a loop back. Now this is your start square here, and there's where you'd be building into. Okay, but all that traffic's being fed into the start square, where you're going to have enough traffic already, and then it feeds back along this highway, back towards the intersection. You see where I'm going here, can't you? You see where I'm going here. Back towards the intersection, and then into the tunnel there to get that left turn that we were after, and then out here. So there's a awful lot of traffic going to be fed into your city for no purpose whatsoever, just because of a missing link on that intersection. But there we are. Right, let's follow it on and see where we go with this one. Now, this is a very nice bridge. There's a little bit of pop in and pop out on this bridge, but I think we can forgive that. That's not too much that the creator can do. It's one of those bridges you have to subscribe to. I've not seen this one before, and I like it. The Sumi Bridge, I'm guessing this has got to be from Finland. Would I be wrong? Would I be right? I don't know. It's very nice. And I like the way it stays elevated over this wetland here as well. It's very smart. Stays elevated up there and then slowly comes down. Slowly, gently comes down. We reach another intersection here, which is still elevated. Not too high though. It's like a diamond intersection, isn't it? That's the one. With slightly curved roads instead of angular ones. And then, yeah, well, shall we head off this way instead? Head off towards the fog this way, see if we can find any faults. There's no traffic on the right-hand side. Does that mean we have got an incorrect laid portion of highway down here, maybe? Maybe that's what we're going to find down here, because there's no traffic on the right at all. Looking out for a fault on the highway. Looking out. Keep your eyes open. We'll head underneath the rail bridge there and heading off towards the fog. Still no... but there is a truck. There is a truck, which means that we can rest easy. This highway does seem to actually be connected and working. Well, that's a relief. Okay, let's have a look at the rail. The rail is fine and nice and gently tapered up here. Now, there's a few different routes we can take with the rail. I can't show you all of them because we'll be here all day. But they are nice. They are sweeping across the environment. This is nice. Nicely done here. The way it splits, we've got the two props there and the rail splits very nicely as well. Got two separate rail aqueducts. You know what I mean. Two separate rail bridges. I'd like to have seen them pushed together. I'm not keen on the gap between them. I'd like that to be pushed together as one bridge. Just me. Just me. That's my only grumble with that one. Still very nicely done. Anyway, the track on the right is just heading off towards the right now. So we'll ignore that one. And then we'll just follow the main track down here, where it's going slightly elevated. Right here, and then the track on the right passes back underneath the bridge. So it splits over there, right the way back there, off to the right, but then crosses back over onto the left. It's based on the real map, so I'm sure that is correct and accurate. Just seems very weird to me. Very, very weird. Anyway, we stay elevated, cross the highway. We come back down to ground here, heading in towards the start square area. Cuts right through, actually. Then we get this entanglement of train tracks. I don't know if I like it. Doesn't mean it's wrong. There's nothing technically wrong with it. It's just, I don't know if I like it. Anyway, if you carried on this way, you've got loads of options. You can head off to the fog that way, or you can bend off and wander off this way and bend off to the fog over that way. And there's another route that goes off to the fog even further afield. But we're going to head off this way and see where this takes us. Why not? Up and over a bridge? Yeah, that's cool. And I guess we're going off to the fog this way instead. Okay then. Right, what to do, or what to do, what to do. An asset review is what to do. I'm getting worse at these, I tell you. Today's asset is by our old friend King Leno. It's the Colours nightclub. It appeared in this week's chart show, and it's a very nice little thing, this one. Very nice indeed. The colours are, well, just you've got the rainbow there. You've got some nice parasols in the back garden as well. There's no back door into there. You have to cut through from the side entrance. Got some lovely colours on the side there as well. I was wondering if this is the gay quarter of wherever this town is. I have no problem with it at all. It's a very, very nice, bold nightclub, an old style building. I like it. I like it a lot. Good old King Leno. You can rely on him to produce us something to use in our cities. So Colours Nightclub by King Leno, and that is a very nice colourful asset of the day. And off to Themington Island for one more look at the Europa theme by Julia Iris 289 with the definitive vision LUT. Yeah, a theme that is based on Europa, the moon surrounding Jupiter. That's the one, not surrounding it. Not surrounding it, that'd be a hell of a big moon, wouldn't it? No, but you know what I mean. Okay, orbiting, that's the word, orbiting. Okay, factoids time. The two great Mexican pyramids, the Pyramid of the Moon and the Pyramid of the Sun, were built with mortar made of ground corn. That I've got to have a look at. I've got to spend a minute looking that up later. That sounds great. The Chubb lock was invented in 1818, 1818, which ironically is my my cash point pin number. It was my cash point pin number. The Chubb lock, there we are. So that's two factoids for today, and tomorrow we've got one about microwaves. How about that? How about what? Do you know what? This is getting more tenuous by the day, aren't they? Shipping routes, we've got one that goes right the way down the river, back to Stendal, Ortmark, Germany by Lewis. One goes right down the river. This is going to be worth checking here, especially. See if we can get the cruisers through that bridge there. And then it goes off to the fog over there. Okay, one big shipping route right the way down there. The big bridge, just a slight bit of clipping on the antennae on the top of the cruiser. And then if we have a look at the rail bridge, it's going to be tight. You can tell it's going to be tight. And it's just a little bit too tight for my liking. A little bit of clipping there. Water flow, good strong water flow down the river. Now, there is one slight problem, not with the water flow in the river, but the river is nowhere near the start square. Now, he does explain this in the description and tells you that you're going to have to use water towers and your sewage outflow into a couple of these little lakes here. I have one little grumble about it, right? If you have a look, this one here, they've all only got one water source. That is going to be enough to draw out the sewage, but mostly by evaporation. What I'd like to see is a second water source like this. So this is that could be our main water source. The second one though, be lower, and that will draw the water away, the polluted water away much faster. What we do is now just let the water settle down a bit. Something like that. It's not perfect just yet. In fact, this was like a 10-second job. Obviously, you'd spend a lot more time doing this if this were you. But here, now, we should have water flow in this little lake. Click into that button there. There we go. So instead of relying on evaporation to take the sewage away, that will just suck it away on the quiet. And that's much better. So anyway, yeah, that's where your water sources, our only water sources are here and here. And then he does suggest that you then buy some tiles to get across to the river. But look how far away the river is. It's a long way to Tipperary. Oh, no, to the river. So that is just something to consider if you are looking to play this vanilla. Right. The rocks are very nice. We've got a little bit of water glitching in the rocks, to be expected with these rocks, I'm afraid. Just a little bit. It's not the worst, if I'm honest with you. The overall standard is very nice down here. Now, the thing with the rocks is you've got rock, and then you've got riverbank, and then you've got rock, and then you've got rock, and then you've got rock, and they're interspersed. Now, I don't know if that's the case in real life or whether it's just detailing. Maybe it's just to keep the river bank from flowing too far down to sea, just to keep it in. I don't know exactly. I don't dislike it, but I just sort of mention it. It's not a positive, it's not a negative. We've got these wetlands, some lakes just up here. And if we head across this side here, we've got this, obviously got the elevated rail, some nice fields, lots of field painting. Looking for some more wetlands in a second. There are some down here somewhere. Head across there. Ah, there you go. Some more wetlands here. Now these seem a little bit chiseled here rather than actually eked into the environment, but still not too bad. We follow this down. It looks like it's flowing, but it's not. It's just like these dead lakes here. No problem with that. And then down here, got a slight problem going on down here. Yes, we've got some water flow, and it's nice to see it feeding into the river. Okay, now just tippling over the bank, but the only place it's tippling over into the bank is directly underneath the bridge, and it keeps clipping in and clipping out. But see how the water is running underneath and through the concrete there. Now even if it wasn't, I don't think the engineers would want that amount of water running through the concrete. I'd like to see the water flow going over the bank at this end here rather than actually down. Oh, and look, a nice little bit of graffiti on the bridge, just noticed that. So yes, that's my only real grumble about the bridge there. It's just the water flow going through the concrete. We've got a little bit of wooded area going on if you want to do a bit of forestry with a tiny little lake in the middle. Very pretty. In fact, the whole map is very pretty. Mostly done by this field painting. Most of the field painting does seem to be straightforward rather than mixed resources. I'd like to have seen every field to have fertile land and then maybe mix the resources on top for the actual field painting purposes. Yes, I'm guilty of having done that myself, and that's why I'd like to see it. We do also have a little bit of a castle going on there. Not too much. Not overly decorated, and you know what, I think less is more with that one. Quite happy with it. Okay, aesthetically, overall, I think it's a very nice looking map. Very nice. Could be more, but it's still very good, and you know what, I'm going to give it a very strong 4 stars there. For detailing, that start square intersection is a problem. There are various other little problems as well. All told, I can't give it more than 3. I feel it deserves a 4, but I can't go more than 3. As for gameplay potential, the water flow issue, plus all of that traffic running through the start square, I'm afraid that is only a 3-star for gameplay. I feel a bit bad for detail. I want to give it a 4th star, but I just can't quite justify it with the shipping clipping as well. Stendhal Ortsmark, Germany by Lewis. That is a very nice map. Just 1 or 2 minor tweaks and it would have got the seal of approval. Well, thanks very much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me tomorrow for the final map of the week and of course the quirky intersection. No, the quirky asset of the week as well. Don't forget you can join these guys over on Patreon and vote in for next week's map because why not? And also you get quicker access to me and we can have a chat as well. All sorts of stuff like that. Oh, it's such a party over on Patreon. See you tomorrow.